If I, as an American, walk up to the, foreign political first secretary of the Russian embassy in France, and I introduce myself, right? Hey, how you doing? Red alarms go off.
Yep.
You can almost guarantee that that person has an established protocol where if they come in contact with an American in France, they're going to go right back to the office afterwards, write your name, your phone number, describe you physically, yada, 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 whatever they've got about you, and send it back to Moscow so that Moscow can do their due diligence to come back and say whether or not that's an actual person or an undercover person.
All right. I need to ask a very specific question now.
Okay.
I don't know how much it's a black and white answer, but we'll try. So when someone learns a new language that they didn't learn when they were 4 years old, right? So they learn it at even 13 or 14 or older. They're generally always going to speak with some sort of accent. Even if it fades over time, there's a small syllable somewhere that's going to change. How capable are agencies like the CIA in training people to not have those syllables?
So do you want a simple answer, or do you want me to make it a more interesting answer?
Always here for the more interesting answer.
If you were the CIA and you wanted an officer to collect intelligence undercover as whatever, would you want them to have fluency in the native language of the person that they're targeting? Or would you want them to have a shared language that's not as fluent?
Maybe I'm overthinking it. I would say the latter due to the cultural thing. Like, think of the Inglourious Bastards example. 3 fingers instead of 3, right? He spoke with a funny accent too, but he could pass for a certain, I'm talking about the general in the bar for people who haven't seen the movie. The British undercover agent posing as a German could pose for, I'm from this weird region of Germany, so my accent's a little weird. But he was discovered by the Nazi soldier in there because when he ordered drinks, he used 3 fingers, like the middle 3 fingers on your hand, and not the thumb, index finger, and middle finger, which was a cultural symbol that Germans used. So the German was able to say, oh, not a real German.
That was the mistake.
Yeah. So did I give the right answer?
You gave the right answer. Exactly right. Right? To minimize the opportunities for mistakes to happen, CIA doesn't want its officers to have perfect fluency. They don't want them to sound like they're native born from Galicia, Spain. Instead, they want them to sound like they learned Spanish later in life. Even better if they don't have fluent Spanish, but they have enough social Spanish that they can have a social interaction that moves the person into another language where the intelligence officer has superior language skills.
Hiding in plain sight more.
Hiding in plain sight, making more space for small accidents to happen because you're taking the target out of their dominant cultural area and moving them into a less dominant cultural area. Everything in espionage is about information superiority. Now, that's another inside term. Air superiority, ground superiority, littoral superiority. These are all military terms.
What was that one?
Littoral. It means ocean or naval superiority, right? These are all areas where tactically on the field, you want to have that superiority. Maybe you've heard about it in Zelensky's conversations with NATO. He's like, we want NATO to have air superiority.
Yes.
Right? That means predominance of power in that area. Information superiority is what intelligence officers specialize in. Because if you have the predominance of information, you have the battlefield advantage. As long as you're trying to pretend to be a culture you're not, and a culture that your target is, they have information superiority. So you have to take them out of that and move them into a culture, move them into a place where your information superiority is better. Take them out of German, put them into English. Move them out of Spanish, put them into French.
And in the process, give away some potential red flags that could make them look at you harder and hope that you have enough covered on the back end to prevent them from saying spy.
Correct, because what happens is if you can cultivate the relationship far enough, you don't need to be the one that speaks fluent German. You just bring in a German linguist to sit with you, to speak fluent German with them so that you don't have to. You always retain that 99% plausibility, right? They're never really sure whether or not you're a spy, so they'll keep meeting with you. So you have that preponderance of manipulative relational leverage.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.